I feel that when ex-health minister pays only $8 for heart surgery, I want to know who's paying for that. And I feel that the MediShield has two core principles, deductibles and co-insurance. The whole objective was to minimize abuse over consumption. And then subsequently, the same health minister comes out under integrated MediShield that now allows riders to be bought for co-insurance and deductibles, which basically undermine the core principles of the scheme. Now, the rich will probably be able to buy this, so people who draw ministerial pay can buy, right? And then they overconsume. And guess who is paying? I suspect pretty much the rest of us. And in light of that, continuing on to MediShield Life Review, what I'm really afraid of, because in 2013, I believe insurance, MediShield premiums for most people who, other than the young, have gone up tremendously. For my own case, it went up nearly 50%. And yeah, so it varies. The older you are, I think the rate of increase was steeper. And this, I suspect, may be a precursor to the MediShield Life, where they are probably going to collectivize national obligations. And then all of us will be paying for each other, especially those who cannot afford, and now we have universal coverage that is propounded under MediShield Life. So it's well and good to have universal coverage, but who pays? Right? It's just like Korbunwan's heart surgery, $8. Who pays? So at the end, you know, it's like fellow citizens have to pay for each other. Then they privatize for profit, right? They sell our power stations, they corporatize everything. And then that profit goes into public coffers, no doubt. But what do they then use the public coffers for? For national obligations or for what? So that's a major question. I don't see it being brought out in Parliament. And I'm trying to even get people to ask questions in Parliament as to what is the payout rate and what is the premiums collected for the two pools of insurance policy holders, those with riders and those without riders. I have not had takers, unfortunately. So I don't know where to.
Who is paying what? How much of money is being spent? Is there any way that we can have more transparency on this? I think that's where you are coming from, right?
More transparency and adhere to the principle. If you tell me that this is a national scheme and you want deductibles and you want co-insurance, then don't later undermine the whole thing, and then instead of you bearing the monkey, you make us bear the monkey.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Okay, I think you hit a specific point about the MediShield and the riders, but let me just address the broader point about secrecy and data and all that. I think we all know that we are not dealing with a government that is as open as we would want them to be. However, I think it's also important for us as members of society and interested members of society to also be aware that there are channels to obtain such data. And in fact, during my time in the last 1.5 years in Parliament, 2.5 years in Parliament, I have actually asked quite a number of questions on healthcare and managed to get quite a number of statistics out from the health ministry. And I have to give credit actually to the health ministry for being quite forthcoming in answering the questions that I've been asking. For example, you asked about the premiums. I have asked a question as to how much MediShield has collected in premiums, how much it has disbursed in payouts, and found out that over the past 10 years it's collected more than $1 billion more in premium than it has given in payouts. I don't have an exact figure with me in my head right now, but I'll be happy to share that number with you if you email to me. There are many other things that I've discovered in the course of asking questions, things like how much the government actually spends on healthcare, how much it spends on specific allocations of healthcare, things like Medifund, how much Medifund pays, how much Medisave pays out, various different things. So I think that there is a lot of data for us actually to work with, and if not, Zihan will not have a lot of these things to blog about as well. So there is data available, and it's there for us to analyze. But I think we also should move beyond just arguing that the government is not giving out data, is not spending enough. The issue actually at hand is what is the government spending on? Okay, is the money being well spent? Is there a better way of allocating the spending? Are there certain people that deserve to get more help? That is really the question. It's not so much whether we should just have these broad issues about government spending more. Yes, I believe the government should spend more on healthcare. Yes, it should spend a higher percentage of the GDP. Well, what should it spend on? That's the nitty-gritty that we should get into. And specifically about the point about the riders, I'm not here to defend the government on that point, but just the facts are actually that, yes, you can buy riders to pay for, that will cover the co-insurance and will cover the deductibles, but you cannot use your MediSave to pay for those riders. So effectively, the government is not no, you can't. Not for the riders. Yeah. So you can buy enhanced MediShield that can cover you if you want to go and stay in an A-class ward or B1 class ward. But you cannot buy the riders to cover your deductible and your co-insurance paying out of MediSave. There have been calls for that to happen, but they haven't allowed that. And I think the principle is because they don't want to allow people to overconsume. They don't want to encourage overconsumption in that aspect. But if you're asking why are people allowed to do that, well, that's a free market as well. And I think if people want to protect themselves more and pay more into the premium pool, I think they should be allowed to go ahead and do that. You cannot prevent them from doing that. In fact, it helps them. That's how Colburn One is able to get an $8 heart bypass, is because he pays for the riders that cover the deductible.
Thank you. Yes, yeah, no, sorry.
The problem with the riders and the private shield plans, as you have pointed out, is that the way MediShield works is, if you are lucky or unlucky enough to have a sickness of operation that is a non-standard one, then we say you die lah. Because it's not designed for non-standard illnesses and operations. Or you see a private GP and he refers you to a public hospital, you're going to enter a subsidized ward. Then of course MediShield is designed only for B, 2 and C. Or you manage to get the ward, but then you fail the means testing, you also pay a lot more. So a lot of people really, from a risk perspective, they don't have a choice. Because if you don't take the private shield, you don't take the rider, and you hit one of these, I call minefields that I mentioned, then there's no cap, you know. Even in the C ward, there's no cap. It's very interesting, the statistics that you hear in Parliament, because sometimes they tell you, oh, we have to increase MediShield premium in March this year because, you know, we have, I think, like 90 over people in the subsidized ward who claim more than 50,000 from MediShield. So that's why we need to increase the premium. But then you ask yourself, you are telling us that even in the lowest class ward, people have to pay more than 50,000 a year. So that shows you how unaffordable healthcare is. So sometimes when you use statistics to justify an increase, it actually tells you how unaffordable healthcare is.